Okay, everybody, welcome back to SFR. We head straight into the race formation lap, and then the grid is set from what the qualifying was. Just got to make sure that everything is sorted out, everything is working, making sure race is live. Here we go, race is live, and it's live. Let's have a quick look and see what everybody is doing here. We have Henry on pole, Kachow in second, Cornet third, Grack fourth, Dace fifth, Dommy sixth, Rayner seventh, Bacon eighth, B16 ninth, and Righty Boy 10th. They'll all be starting on the soft compound of tyre. Then everyone below that, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 19th, all have a free choice of tyres. Honesy is the first person, the first driver to select the medium tyre. Just sharing the link into the Discord, and yeah, so only Honesy at the minute has selected the medium tyre. I'm going to patch into Delta. Delta is on the pit wall with me as well, as usual. Delta, what's your tyre strategy?
Secret.
It's a secret, is it? Alpine secret. Coding like what Mercedes were doing earlier on the on the team radio.
Yeah.
Okay. Will has selected the mediums, just for your information. Who is just ahead of you. So Delta, being the oracle of truth, and giving us all the information we need and more, is pretty useless. So I'm going to cut you off now. And
Thanks. Speak to you later.
well, if you were, the Welshman, if you gave me some info, I would have kept talking to you.
It's either going to be soft, medium, or medium, soft.
Is it? What is the strategy looking like? So soft, medium, or medium, soft,
Medium,
yeah?
soft. Yeah.
Cool. So most drivers will be looking to, what's the pit times? How many laps? About 8 laps on each? 8 laps on the soft?
You can do about 10 or 11 on them.
10 or 11, okay. Mediums about 15, 16?
About 14, 15 laps.
Cool. So I'm hovering over you to see when you switch to the medium tyre.
Oh, I have already.
Oh, have you? You haven't confirmed it? Because it's still coming up as a soft tyre. Oh, there we go. So Delta is going for the medium tyre. So Mr. Woot, Stuart, Delta, Will and Honesy all going for the medium compound tyre. Medwoods, Mark of Kenya, Red Dog and Lasser all going for the soft, and obviously all the drivers in the top 10 have to start on the soft tyres. One advantage they have is that they don't use a used set of soft tyres, they are fresh for them, so that is the only disadvantage of the lobby reset. For the drivers behind, they can choose their tyre, but the drivers in the top 10 will have fresh softs to drive with, which is a bit of a shame. It does take out, a little bit of the jeopardy of using 3 or 4 lap old soft tyres. We have 5 seconds before we do head off onto the formation lap, and it looks like those tyres are confirmed. So as we head off onto the formation lap, we are running. Henry gets us underway, driving slowly down to the start. Let's get all my information up. Confirmation on tyres. Let me turn down my mic volume so I can actually hear myself talk rather than just screaming V6 hybrids. And let's say double, so Alfa Romeo have the P1 and P2 lockouts. They're going to be working in teams. Cornet in the Williams in third, Grack in the white Red Bull. The last time you'll be seeing it is coming out of the game tomorrow in tomorrow's update, where hopefully we will get Jeddah, another new track, the third track this season. They'll be getting rid of the white Red Bull. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it looks amazing. I think it worked for one race, which is what the statement they wanted to pull. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily brilliant. I prefer the old camouflage and the other Red Bull tricks and things they did before pre-season testing a few years ago, where they did that really nice blue and white AlphaTauri style before AlphaTauri went blue and white. And that camouflage one I did quite like as well. I think they did a red and black one as well, which is quite nice. As a Bournemouth fan, red and black are my colours. So yeah, I did quite like that. But yeah, the white one I don't think personally is it doesn't stand out enough for me. You can see definitely it's got a Red Bull on its engine cover, and I've got a comment, so I'm probably getting some hate from someone here to say it's gorgeous. Let's see what the comment is. Stein has said Kachow to win the race, so Stein is nailing his colours to the Kachow post. Kachow obviously starting in P2. Now, as we've already said, P3 is normally the best place to start in a real life race in Mexico. You get the slipstream down to turn 1. Now, Alpha blocking out the front row could have, could definitely work in teams and block anyone coming in from behind them, but Cornet and Grack are probably in the better positions than what Henry and Kachow are in. Turn 1 is always a bit interesting, just because of the speed the cars are heading down there, and we have 5 lights on the grid. They're about to go out, and we're going to go racing in Mexico. Unfortunately, it is frozen for me, and they go out now. So here they go. They're running down to turn 1. Awful start from Kachow. Kachow has already dropped down to P2. Cornet's had a good start. Henry's had a good start as they power down to turn 1. Horrible camera angle. And let's get the better one here. Cornet's going round the outside. Max Verstappen X into turn 1, and Cornet gets it done. Cornet is ahead. Henry is fighting back. Cornet on the outside, and Cornet takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Grack into P3, Kachow into P4, Domily gains a position into P5, Rayner in P6, and Domily slips in behind the Alfa Romeo of Kachow. And yeah, there we go. So Stuart Little has gained a position. Delta's had a good start into P10, and it didn't appear to be any incidents in turn 1. Let's go to the back of the grid. Red Dog's coming around the double apex right-hander. Holmesy's lost a position. The medium tyre is obviously not firing up. Medwards has just overtaken Lasser into the S's, and Lasser gets him back. That's a good overtake there from Lasser Haverhaus in before the S's. So gaps-wise, Stewart is very close to the back of Delta. Stewart looking like he's going to make a move down the inside there into the stadium section, but backs out of it. Mark of Kenya has just overtaken Mr. Wu, as we've got a nice camera angle through the stadium of all the cars driving over the curbs and the bollards. And who's this? Medwards is going backwards. Medwards getting swamped by Lasser and Mr. Wu now, and Medwards down into P17, but also gets that position back straight away, and we have side-by-side action here from the Haas and the Red Bull of Lasser. Medwards is doing very well to hold on to that position. Lots of position changes through there, and Medwards holds on at the end of the straight, and Holmesy drops down to P18, but Holmesy and Mr. Woot are fighting like mad through turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and who was that? That was Mr. Woot getting a massive slap of oversteer there, and he drops to the back of the grid now. Red Dog has overtaken him. Let's go back to the front of the grid. Henry is still stuck behind Cornet. I say stuck behind. Cornet is holding his own out front, but Henry wouldn't, as I mentioned before, P3 is the best place to start, and P3 was the best place to start today. Cornet got ahead before turn 1, took the line of Max Verstappen last week, went round the outside of Henry and held it for the inside line to turn 2. So Henry's going to look to try and get back past Cornet as soon as he possibly can when the DRS opens up, and Grack is also there looking to take advantage of anyone coming through. P16 holds his position in P9 from the start. Let's have a quick look at the no penalty. Oh, we have our first penalty. Henry's really picked up a 3-second time penalty as I said that, so he's the first driver to pick up after 3 laps. Is quite impressive to get that many penalties already. Position changes. Mr. Woot, unfortunately biggest loser, lost 5 positions from the start, and Lasser is the biggest winner with 3 positions. Most drivers have either kept their positions or lost maybe 1 or 2. Henry very close to the back of Cornet as DRS has just been enabled. So Henry's going to look to take advantage of the extra speed the DRS can give. He's got to stay close to him though in this part of the track. That's right on board Henry. From Henry's perspective through the S's as he follows Cornet. It's very easy to pick up warnings through here, especially following cars with dirty air and turbulence. We have a yellow flag and it looks to be it's Delta Lima going backwards. Delta Lima, first driver to spin off the track, and he rejoins the race in last place. Another yellow flag in sector 2. That's just Delta getting back up to speed, unfortunately. So Henry, we're right on board with Henry. As his DRS opens up, he gets the extra speed. He's not using his ERS though, he's conserving it, and he's not getting in the slipstream. So I'm not sure what Henry's strategy is here. Cornet did move out to try and stop Henry getting the slipstream, and Henry didn't necessarily want it. So Henry's playing the long game here, the strategy game. The undercut is pretty powerful here. And yeah, he's not looking like he wants to make the move. Domi Lee has moved up to P4 now with Dace in P5. Rayner in P6 has gained a position. Bacon has gained a position. B16 has as well. So who's gone backwards? Grack has gone backwards. I'm not sure what happened to Grack, and that's why everyone's jumped up a position. He's lost 5 positions on the last lap or so. So interesting to find out what happened with him. He obviously had a bit of a coming together with somebody to drop from P3 to P9. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who's this we have off? It's a Haas. I believe that's Medwards. Unfortunately, Delta has obviously just come out of the pit lane. He's put a fresh set of soft tyres on, and he'll be looking to go for about 10 or 11 laps towards the front of the grid. So let's ride back on board with Henry, or let's get on board with Kachow actually. We might get a good view. Grack is going backwards again. What's happened to Grack? Domilis has the fastest lap of the race. Grack's off the track in the stadium section. Kachow, Henry and Cornet all running line astern. Domilis looking to take advantage of Kachow. Kachow has half of his battery left. Domi has absolutely nothing, or he didn't towards the end of the lap. Rayner has lost the position to Bacon. Bacon's overtaken him. Let's go back onto broadcast mode. Cockpit can be a bit disorientating sometimes. You can't see everything that's going on around you. And yeah, Will has just gained a position. Will has overtaken Stewart on the exit of 4, and that's 4 or 5 cars in a line there, all trying to go side by side. Will pushes Mark of Kenya off the track, it appeared, and Mark is, I think he gained some positions off track, so he has to give that back before he picks up a penalty. So Mark of Kenya has to give some positions back. Stuart Little goes through on him. And Mark of Kenya is round. Mark of Kenya is out. He got pushed in the back, not sure by who, but that is probably going to be the safety car that Delta was hoping and praying to Jesus and praying to Santa Claus. He's definitely on the nice list this season, and Delta gets his safety car. Yeah, Stein watching. F for Mark of Kenya. Not sure what happened. A scrappy couple of corners from him, and we have our first safety car. So lots of drivers coming into the pits, probably a few laps earlier, looking probably to go on to. Let's stick the tyres on. What tyres is everybody putting on? The Williams had to, looking like they're all going mediums, going on the mediums a little bit earlier, try and drag this out. Henry stayed on his soft tyres. Red Dog up to P7 now from towards the back of the grid, so not stopping from him either. Mark of Kenya has left the session. F to Mark of Kenya. F in the chat for him. Never seems to have a good race in SFR, unfortunately. But while we're here, while the drivers are going slowly and they can probably want to concentrate on other things, Delta, are you with us?
Yo.
Yo, I didn't think you wanted to talk to me for a second there. What happened to you?
Well, to be fair, there was a yellow flag, but it wasn't me. And then, yeah, just lost it.
Lost it?
The car just drifted out from under me. Luckily, I only lost the front wing.
Yeah, Mark of Kenya lost it in a similar place and lost his wheel and is now out of the race, bringing you that glorious safety car that you're probably very thankful of.
Yeah, just got to catch up to the pack now.
Yeah, it won't take you too long to catch up. You've got Grack just behind you. I think he's had a few incidents as well.
And he's on 10 seconds of penalties. Mark Kenya had 13 seconds
Oh,
somehow.
did he?
Yeah. I felt quite bad. I was holding up my teammate every opportunity I had to kind of let him pass. He ended up being further behind.
So what's your strategy now? You're going to try and get these soft tyres as far as you possibly can?
Yeah. And then I've got the option to switch to the hard or the medium now.
Yeah, I suppose you can take these softs probably to what, lap 17, I reckon? And then 20 laps, 19, 20 laps on the hards should be okay. So yeah, if you can get them to about at least lap 15, 16, you should be able to go onto the hards to the end of the race.
I mean, I just opted for the soft because I'll probably have to pit again at some point for an wing or something.
You want to drive fast.
I want to drive fast.
Stupendous. Right. You're just about to join the back of the pack, so I'll leave you to concentrate and not to rear-end anybody and pick up a 5-second penalty from behind.
Muchas gracias.
So we have a few drivers on 3 seconds worth of penalties, which is Henry, Stewart. Oh, very slowly through here. Please don't start causing issues and arguments. So Stewart has 3 seconds, Henry has 3 seconds, Kachow has 3 seconds, Righty Boy has 3 seconds, Delta has 3 seconds, and Grack has 10 seconds. Safety car is in this lap. Henry is going to become the safety car. He's got Bacon behind him, B16 in P3, Will in P4, Stewart in P5. Holmesy has gained a few positions, staying out on the medium tyres in P6. There's a quick look at the tyre strategies. So the drivers from P1 to P8 all didn't pit under safety car, and from 9 down to the back all did. So has Henry bolted already? He comes around the final corner and he is bolted. He's gone. Bacon sleeping a little bit there, and he has lost a bit of time on the back of Henry. Dace, who's going backwards? Kachow's going backwards. What's happened to Kachow? Kachow's going in the pit lane. What's happened to him? Not sure what's happened to him. Delta gains a free position there. B16 very close to the back of Impossible Bacon, as we're going to ride on board with him up towards the end of the first sector into turn 4. Will pretty close behind. Righty Boy has lost a position. Lasser gets up the inside of him, and we also have Medwards going through into P14. Mebbers moves out from the back of Lasser. He's going to try and go round the outside. Is he going to make it stick? No, he's not. He backs out of that. Righty Boy filters in behind Medwards. So Medwards into P14. Lasser in P13. Lasser got pole position last week, and he also got P2 last week, a podium. He's doing pretty well in the standings. Delta gets through as well. Looks very tight through here. Righty Boy loses another position. Grack goes through. Not a good couple of corners from Righty Boy, and he drops down to P17. Kachow, unfortunately, comes out the pits in dead last. Grack looking to make a move on Delta, doesn't do so. Filters in behind him. Rayner in P12. Dace in P11. So we've got a line of 4 cars there, all very close together. Let's ride on board and Dace's POV, or let's go Dace's POV as Dommy Lee moves out, overtakes Mr. Woot. Dace is looking to take advantage of that as well. Mr. Woot is going to have a tighter angle into this corner. Dace can sweep round the outside, which is what he does perfectly, and gets past Mr. Woot. So Dace with the overtake and goes in, now going to try and chase after Dommy Lee. Red Dog in P8 as Cornet just ahead of him. Cornet on the fresher medium tyres. So he is the furthest driver up on the freshest tyres, Cornet, so watch out for him. Undercut's pretty powerful, fresh tyres here, so Henry's going to have to watch out for that as well. Watch his sector times. Stewart is chasing Holmesy down, but Stewart does have some time penalties, and he is probably picked up at least one warning through that series of corners there. Will picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is quite rare for Will, should I say, get my words all tangled up. Will's been pretty good with his track limits. He always has been, to be fair. There is the meme going around of Will that he likes a track limit cut, but he has his defences. If he's allowed to, he will. DRS has now been enabled. Any drivers looking to take advantage. Bacon moves out of the slipstream of B16. Will is following in the slipstream of B16. Honesy, it's just one big DRS train, unfortunately. But there is Lasser, who is closing up to the back of Mr. Wu. So is Lasser going to make the move? No, he moves out, filters back in behind, and no overtakes happening there. Edwards on the hard tyre in P14. Delta just behind on the soft. So Delta's going to have to take advantage of these soft tyres and try and get past Medwards as soon as he can. Looked like he got quite a good exit off of there. No DRS for Delta though.
No
So
DRS yet. Next lap.
Oh, I thought I just saw it enabled.
Or next zone. It enabled, but the detection point's in the stadium.
Okay, yeah, good point. Good point. Thank you. Thank you, driver.
Well.
So Delta's looking to get DRS after the S's if he can stay. Goes through the DRS detection point now, and he is within the second. So let's see what he can get. This straight's not normally long enough as Medwards picks up a 3-second time penalty. Grack on the back of Delta has DRS, and Grack is looking to make the move up the inside. Oh, wheel to wheel there. There probably was a little bit of wheel banging. Maybe Grack pulled out right at the last minute. The camera angle wasn't brilliant, and Delta keeps his P15. B16 is going backwards. He's in the pit lane. That's just why he's going backwards. So it's right on board with... Oh, Grack gets a massive snap of oversteer, so that's going to disadvantage him through the straight. So let's see what Delta can do. Riding on board with Delta. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go inside? He goes inside. Medwards takes the outside. Let's ride on board, back on board with Medwards as the overtake gets done. Delta is through into P13, and now he's got to a little bit of clear air ahead of him. Take advantage of those soft tyres. Red Dog drops down to P10 with a DRS overtake from Rayner. So Rayner into P9. And he's got Dace just ahead of him. And Grack goes through on both Delta. Oh, no. Grack has to back out of that. And what's happened to Grack? He's let everybody through. Not sure what's happened there.
He looked like he didn't brake at all.
He's literally driving like a snail. He is retiring, I believe. I believe he has retired. He's ghosted out. Okay. He's just got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, even though he's not exceeding track limits. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Kachow goes through. But Cornet gets past Stuart Little with DRS enabled. Overtakes Stuart, looking to make another comeback, but doesn't, and Cornet moves through. Grack is now retired from the session, which is, I assumed that was going to be coming. So Cornet now up into P5. He's chasing down Honesy, and Will gets past Impossible Bacon. Not sure if some team orders were held there. Bacon on 11-lap old softs, Will on 11-lap old mediums. So Impossible is probably going to be pitting this lap. If not, maybe a lap later. The safety car has definitely helped some drivers' tyres. Stewart very close to the back of Cornet. Thought there was going to be a move happening there, but the DRS is open for both drivers, so that doesn't help either of them. But Cornet and Stewart goes very wide into the stadium section there. Probably picked up a warning for his troubles, and the penalties are starting to come through thick and fast. I will update you all on the penalty situation shortly, but let's currently ride on board. Bacon stays out. Now, let's go to Cornet. Cornet on Honesy. Honesy on Bacon all have DRS, so it's not going to make too much of a difference to either of them. Bacon very close to the back of Will, doesn't make it count, and there's 4 drivers all running in a line. Big Boy gets the fastest lap of the race on his soft tyre with his McLaren. Domily gets past. Let's right on board with these two. Dace runs very wide on the exit of that corner. Dace moves up into P7. Domi into P, and Cornet, look at this as we come round the turn 4. I saw a lot of arrows moving up and down, and Cornet moves into P4 ahead of Honesy, and Bacon is just ahead of him now as well. Normally they are in a party, so they might all be talking to each other outside team orders could be coming into play now. Cornet follows Impossible Bacon through the tricky S section. And DRS is going to be enabled. I'm expecting Bacon to be pitting this lap. 3-second time penalty for Mr. Woot. Henry has a 7.5 second lead over the next driver ahead. So let's jump on board with Bacon. Is Bacon going to be arriving into the pit lane? No, I think he's staying out for another lap. So Henry pits. Will takes the lead of the race. Is Cornet going to get the move done on Bacon? He goes to the inside. Yes, Cornet gets the move done. Bacon makes it reasonably simple for him. Lasser is fighting with Rayner. Lasser gets ahead of Rayner. Rayner trying to fight back on the inside, but ends up having to cede his position, and Lasser goes through. Rayner, I think, got pushed off a little bit, but we got a snap of oversteer. Henry comes out the pits, and he is ragged on the exit of turn 3, and he's got some traffic up ahead, which is not what he really wanted. It's going to be a good sign for the other drivers up ahead to try and close the gap. Honesy very close to the back of Bacon, so Bacon is going to have to fend off Honesy here. Delta is pretty close now to the back of Rayner, so as you ride on board with Delta through the S's, Honesy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Let's get the time penalty screen up. So with regards to Grack, I had a bit of info from that. His pedals apparently have stopped working. He's only getting 30% out of acceleration and brakes, hence why he had to retire the car. I'll call it an MG UK issue. Save the engine, save the pedals for the next race. So Delta Will finally pits. Will's in the pit lane ahead of Bacon. Just jump on board with Bacon because he is very close to the back of Cornet here. Bacon's keeping these soft tyres alive and really pushing Cornet hard. He's going to have DRS, a bit snappy on the oversteer on the exit of 3 for Bacon, and that has saved Cornet, I believe. Yeah. And Honesy just behind. So lots of drivers running line astern, lots of DRS trains happening here. All from P1 down to P6 are all within 4/10 of each other. So pretty much every driver on the track has a time penalty now, except for it's easier to tell me which drivers haven't. So Cornet, Bacon, Dommy Lee, Big Boy and Red Dog all haven't got penalties. And Bacon is out and Dace is out. What has happened there? I believe that's going to be a full course safety car. Bacon and Dace are both out of the race. Wow, okay, as we were saying, all running line astern, it's very easy for something like that to happen. Happened last night in NRL. One driver crashed out and the other one just ploughed into the back of him without, just an absolute passenger in the incident. So unfortunately for that, that has brought out our second safety car of the race. Now, what do drivers do in this instant? Cornet pits, Honesy pits, Stewart pits, Dommy pits, Lasser pits, Woot pits, Rayner pits. Henry stays out. So Henry's going to jump back to the back. To the front. B16 stays out. He's gaining positions. Everyone else behind is all pitting. Pit, pit, pit. Kachow pits. Red Dog stays out. So if you put a hard tyre on now, you probably would go to the end of the Grand Prix, which is what most drivers are doing. Honesy's put the hard on. Delta's put a hard on. Righty Boy's put a hard on. Medwards has gone for the medium. So has Rayner medium. Lasser's gone soft. So is Woot. Trying to catch up with all the tyres here. Henry's obviously already pitted, so he's got 1 lap old mediums on. B16 has 4 lap old softs. Cornet's gone from medium, Honesy medium, Stewart medium, Will medium, Dommy medium, Lasser soft, Woot soft. Red Dog stays out on his 3 lap old softs. Rayner on fresh mediums, Delta on fresh hards, Righty Boy hard, Medwards medium, and Kachow on 2 lap old mediums. So they're scrubbed set of mediums for him. So the safety car is out. Henry is once again the leader of the pack. So Dace, unfortunately, very unlucky. He's bemoaning his luck in the Discord right now. And we unfortunately lost Impossible Bacon in that incident too. So yeah, Dace having an unlucky second half of the season. He had a brilliant first half. It all seemed to go downhill from Hungary when he spun from a winning position at the second to last corner about halfway through the race. Since then his luck has just been thrown out of the window, but I'm sure hopefully he will come back stronger next season and try and really push for the World Championship. So Henry leads the race. B16 in doing a great job this season and this race as well, being in the right place at the right time, currently in P2. Cornet just behind on fresh mediums in P3, with Honesy, the new world champion, not too much further behind. There's been an overtake under safety car, not quite sure what's going on there. Red Dog and Rain are switching positions. All the drivers are in a line now, no one has been lapped. It's all been pretty close racing here today, which is good. Medwards picks up a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Variety. That is unfortunately what happens under safety car issues. Under safety car, you just can't touch anybody. If you literally touch somebody, you will get an immediate 5-second penalty, which is a shame because sometimes it is, outside of your control. But safety car is coming in this lap, so Henry will become this. I say every time, everyone says it. Henry will become the safety car. He went quite early last time on the exit of the last corner. So we'll see if he does the same thing again this time. I'll ride on board with, let's go down to Cornet in third position. I think this would be quite a good spot to ride on board from. It looks like Henry has gone already. Yeah, Henry's bolted. B16 had a pretty good restart. He's not too far behind him. Henry did get a pretty good start there, but B16 is following him close. So is Cornet. Could we see a change of the lead here from B16? No, I don't think he's going to be close enough at the end of the straight. Cornet either. Honesy didn't get a very good restart, so Honesy's still sitting in P4. B16 takes a very tight line into 2 and 3, and Cornet looks like he might have the move already done and dusted. No DRS is enabled just yet, and Cornet looking to go round the outs. Brakes very late into turn 4, and that is that move done. We've got a yellow flag, and it looks like a Ferrari. As Righty Boy is out, and he had a collision with somebody else. So Righty Boy is now out of the race. Kachow at the back with him there, so I'm not sure if there was an incident between those two drivers. Cornet gets Kachow is driving very slowly now as well. Not quite sure what's going on here with him, but Henry leads the race. B16 has now dropped down to P3. Stewart looking to go round the outside into the stadium section. We'll follow this battle on board as Stewart gets the move done. B16 now drops down to P4. Honesy is just behind him, looking to make an overtake as well. Will in P8 is close to the back of Lasser, and Mr. Woot is not too much further behind either. So Cornet and Henry now do battle again, both on similar style tyres. We have Bacon, who's joined us on the YouTube channel, saying he might need to go to the infirmary. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty high-speed incident anywhere through the S's, and he took out another driver, went out with him, so I'm pretty sure that was quite a hefty blow for both of them. It looks like there was a lot of carbon fibre on the grid, so yeah, that was it brought out the second safety car of the race. And unfortunately, we did lose Dace and Impossible Bacon in that. Grack's obviously out due to pedal issue. Mark of Kenya hit the wall after having some contact and getting a bit scruffy with another driver. So he's down in P19. I haven't seen the incident. He's already submitted some footage, so I'll watch that after the race. Righty Boy, we have lost. Not sure what happened with him on the exit of turn 3. It looked like it might have involved Kachow. and Kachow down now in P14, driving his own race. It feels like getting the feel of the Fanatec, and DRS has now been enabled, but the detection point is a little bit further back, so no DRS until the end of the lap as we exit the S's. Stewart currently running in P3, but let's get an update on the penalty situation. Stewart has 9 seconds, B16 has 0 seconds. Holmesy has Lasser and Domi Lee and Holmesy are all fighting for that little bit of track, and Lasser gets bullied out of there by Domi, and Domi gets past Lasser, but Lasser is fighting back. Lasser gets the move done. Domi Lee switches back to the inside, back to the outside, and Lasser keeps his P6. Domi filters back into P7, and this is all good for Will Ans, who is chasing them down as well. Holmesy is currently in P5, not massively gaining on B16, so B16 in P4. And right now with 16 laps to go, if B16 can keep not getting any time penalties, he could be on for his first SFR podium. Mr. Wu in P9 and Rayner in P10 taking up the final points paying positions. All have penalties ahead of Red Dog, who has 0. Stuart Little picks up another 3-second time penalty, so he's now on 12 seconds. Delta having a consistent race down in P12. We have a yellow flag. What has happened here? Kachow, unfortunately, was facing the wrong way on the exit of 3. He is now back on the straight and narrow, heading down a lonely race, and his teammate Henry is going to be pretty close to lapping him very soon. So yeah, he is not having a very good race. Kachow, again, still getting used to his new wheel, so we will let him off. I won't take the piss too much. It's quite hard to get used to, you know, the consistent pace when you're using a new wheel. So ERT Henry still leads the race. Cornet in P2, Stuart Little very close behind. Lasser has now got past B16, so B16 drops down to P5, and Holmesy's looking to take advantage of that as well, with Domi Lee not too far behind. Will is closing that gap to Domi Lee up ahead, and so is Mr. Wu. Mr. Wu, let's have a look at the position changes. Holmesy's gained 11, Lasser's gained 15, Stewart's gained 10, Red Dog's gained 7, Will's gained 3, Domi Lee picks up a 3-second time penalty. Kachow is the biggest loser so far, losing 12 positions. Grack before his DNF, Grack has lost 14 positions, and that is B16 coming into the pits. Those soft tyres obviously not feeling brilliant, and he has, how many laps has he done on those tyres? 10 laps, so that's pretty much towards the end of the stint. So Stewart has got past Cornet. Stewart moves up into P2, Cornet drops down into P3 now. And Stewart's going to look to try and capitalise and try and chase down Henry and try and get rid of some of his... try and put out as big a gap as he possibly can, as he is the driver with the highest amount of penalties so far. Everyone around him is 3 seconds. Closest driver to him is 6, and that is Rayner down in P9. Medwards has 8 due to an incident under safety car. Kachow is still driving, bless him. Driving his own race. He's just coming into the stadium section. Henry is just exiting the S's. So that's how far behind Kachow is. Unfortunately, he's nearly a minute down. Stewart has now picked up another 3 seconds, so he's currently on 15. This is going to push him quite far down the grid. Closest battles so far looks to be between Domi, Will, Woot and Rayner, all within about half a second and a second of each other. The drivers ahead of that are quite fairly spaced ahead. Cornet is quite close to the back of Stewart, so we might see, let's ride on board with Cornet as he exits the final corner. DRS will open up here and see how much time he gains. He's gained about 2/10 so far, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, but it's not going to be enough. Stewart doesn't have as much ERS as Cornet to play with, so Cornet's going to have another bite of DRS up this straight here, but doesn't get the best exit out of there, and yeah, he's going to be sitting in behind him now until the end of the lap, unless Stewart makes a mistake. Holmesy's quite close to the back of Domi Lee. Holmesy does have DRS, Will has DRS, Mr. Woot has DRS, and Rayner, I'm not sure if he did, but Kachow gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cuts. So Red Dog currently in P10. with 0. So it's just the 2 McLarens who currently have no time penalties. No time penalties at all. So fair play to them. P16 on... What tyres did he go on to? He went on to fresh medium, so they will see him towards the end of the race. Yellow flag in sector 2. That looks like it's an Alpine. It is an Alpine. What has gone on here? Delta is out. Unfortunately, he might have lost the car where he lost it on the first couple of laps. Delta is out of the race. We have a full course safety car. And Cornet has picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Delta, are you okay? Can you hear us? Are you alive in that cockpit?
The same stupid thing. I just got onto the curve a bit too much and lost it.
Oh dear. So 2 races in a row I've commentated on, yesterday and tonight, and both races you have unfortunately DNF from. So this is good for B16. He will gain quite a few positions here, but not as many as he probably should do. He does move into the points. It's not good for Stuart Little, as he is the pack is all going to bunch up, and he's got 15 seconds to try and redeem, which I don't think he's going to be able to. While the safety car is out, I'm going to go and make a quick cup of coffee. Delta, you can take over.
Oh no, I'm making a drink as well. I've been driving. I didn't have the drink.
Drink driving. Classic.
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 We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Okay, so we're back. Still into safety car conditions. I'm expecting the safety car to come back in this lap. Gives Kachow a chance to catch back up to the back of the pack. The drivers who haven't got penalties, Big Boy and Red Dog, they're in a good position here. They're going to have 11 laps, and all they've got to do is just try and stay within a reasonable time frame. If they can, it means that they'll jump up quite a few positions on the grid. Drivers ahead. I've got quite a few. Cornet now has 8 seconds due to his little pit stop indiscretion. So that gives him a gives Stuart a little bit of breathing space, but Lasser's pretty close behind them all with only 3 seconds. Dommy's only got 3, Holmesy's only got 3, Will's only got 3, and Woot's only got 3. Safety car is coming in this lap. Quite a late notification for that. So Henry overtakes safety car, bolts early. Stewart is not too far behind him. Neither is Cornet, and let's do the broadcast thing. Lasser is very close to the back of this. Lots of weaving around. Lasser moves out from the slipstream. Cornet goes up the inside of Stewart, and he looks to make another move on Henry, but it's not going to quite happen. Cornet goes up the inside of Stewart. Stewart has the inside line for turn 3, and they will bang. Cornet puts his arms out, and they're going wheel to wheel down into turn 4. Dobby Lee moves out from the slipstream of Lasser. Lasser trying to go up the inside of Stewart. Stewart's getting very late send from Lasser there, very late, and I think that was probably a bit optimistic from Lasser to try and make that move count. Stewart and Dommy are fighting over the same piece of racetrack. Stewart is he going to send it? It's a good camera angle here. Hopefully it stays. Stewart has to back out, and Dommy Lee goes through up into P3. So Dommy takes the third podium position. Lasser is now down into P9. Unfortunately, picks up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. So at the minute, Dommy Lee is the highest driver with the least amount of time penalties, but he has used all of his ERS on this lap. He's got absolutely nothing left in the tank to use on this lap. 40% to use after he goes across the start-finish line. So he's got to hope and pray that he can. He goes very wide, moves. Stuart Little has got a good exit there. He's used some ERS up, and Dommy Lee moves out of the way very late, and Stuart comes past. And Stewart is going up the inside. That's right on board with these two. As Stewart goes up the inside, has to back out a little bit. Dommy Lee keeps P3, and Stewart has to settle down for P4. Holmesy very close behind. So is Will. Will's doing very well to keep up with this pack and look to take advantage of anything. Stewart and Dommy Lee going wheel to wheel into turn 4. Stewart goes round the outside. Dommy has to back out and see the position this time, and Stewart takes P3 back from him. Very wide there from Stuart Little though, and Dommy tries to go up the inside. Dommy gets the inside at the double right apex right-hander and gets the move not done. Stuart gets back past, and Stuart keeps P3 of this race and goes very wide though into the first part of the S's, and Dommy Lee takes it back again. These position changes, and Stuart is fighting back again. Stuart's going to try and go around the outside into the stadium. Dommy has the inside line, which goes to the outside for turn. And Holmesy looking to take advantage. Holmesy trying to squeeze into that tiny gap between those two drivers. Holmesy gets it done up the inside of the last corner, with Stewart again fighting back. There's 4 or 5 cars behind them all trying to fight each other. And Holmesy moves up now into P4. Stewart filters back in behind, and Holmesy chasing down Dommy Lee before turn 1. Is he going to be able to get the move done into the corner? Look at all those cars behind. They all want that position. They all want that final podium position. They all know it can be theirs as well with time penalties, so they can. They want that position. They want that. All at the time, this is all good for Cornet and for Dommy Lee, as they are, just driving away now. Henry looks to have won the race at this moment with 8 seconds left. Unfortunately, Stewart picks up another time penalty, so Stewart now rocking 18 seconds, and that at the minute is probably going to drop him quite far down. Both McLarens are now at the back of the grid. I'm not quite sure what happened with those two. Kachow is up into P11, so that last safety car definitely helped him. Lasser into P9. Will very close to the back of Stewart. Is Will going to look to make a move into the braking zone before the stadium? No, he backs out of it. It's very hard to keep up with everything that is going on right now. Holmesy in P4. He's going to look to try and get past Dommy, and then look to try and close the gap to Cornet. So here goes Holmesy, DRS enabled, glides past Dommy Lee. Will gets past Stewart, and Dommy Lee has no answer to that. So Holmesy goes now up into P3, Will into P5. Rayner gets the move done on Mr. Woot, and they're fighting wheel to wheel through these couple of corners. Lasser looking to take back a few positions that he's lost a couple of laps ago, with quite a late send up the inside when there was 4 cars going wide into this corner here. So this is where Lasser lost out a few laps ago. Side by side, Rayner and Mr. Woot, and Lasser slips on through there, takes advantage of that, and Lasser now into P8, chasing down Rayner for that P7. So Dommy Lee hasn't got that much ERS. Holmesy has got not much either. Will is in the best position here. If Will can try and keep up with these guys, try and use the benefit of the DRS and the extra ERS he has, he could possibly take P4 away from Dommy Lee. So Henry on lap, just about to start lap 30, 7 laps remaining. Cornet 3.5 seconds behind Henry, but 3 seconds ahead of Holmesy. Dummy Lee hasn't got much ERS. He's got absolutely nothing left to play with. Neither has Holmesy, and Will has dumped quite a bit there. But with the DRS Dummy Lee has over Holmesy, Will can't take advantage of that. So Stewart, with 18 seconds worth of time penalties, and add another 3 seconds onto that. Stewart is in danger here of being disqualified. Once you hit to 24, I think it goes after 24, another 3 warnings, and that gets you disqualified. He's going to have to watch out he doesn't get disqualified from the race. He's only about 5 or 6 warnings away from being disqualified right now. And B16 has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Red Dog is now the only driver who hasn't got a time penalty next to his name. Kachow still fighting hard. As I said before, that safety car definitely saved his race, and he is right on the back of, who is that? The Haas of Mr. Woot. They're going wheel to wheel into the stadium section. Kachow looking to go around the outside and gets that move done. Runs a little bit wide, and he has the inside line. Mr. Woot fighting, trying to fight back around the outside to get the inside line for the next corner, and very clean there. Mr. Woot gets a massive snap of oversteer, and Kachow gets the move done. Kachow moves up into P9. So you know, he has got 9 seconds worth of time penalties, but staying with the race, coming back, and he is having he's having fun again, I believe. Dummy Lee gets past Holmesy into turn 1 under DR with a DRS overtake. Will is very close to the back of Holmesy now as well. Mr. Woot drops a position from Medwards, and they're both Haas are fighting it hard through turns 1, 2 and 3. Mr. Woot rounds the loses out to Medwards, and Medwards takes P10. And Mr. Woot fighting back hard up the inside. Is he going to get it done? No, Medwards keeps that position. Right now, obviously, reserve drivers do not score constructors' points, so Medwards and probably Toss are watching this thinking, Mr. Woot, stay behind. Haas need a point. I want a point. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? Oh no. We know who that is. It's a dark red spot. It's Kachow. So that moves Medwards up into P9 now. So that's 2 points for the Haas. What they want to happen is Haas want to get as many points as humanly possible. So, you know, Medwards is going to want Mr. Woot to stay behind so they can get the extra point rather than losing a point if they fight too hard. Holmesy is very close to the back of Dummy Lee and gets the move done. Holmesy shifts past Dummy Lee, and Holmesy back into P3. Cornet now has 11 seconds worth of time penalties, and Kachow has a 5 second speeding penalty for the pit lane, and I believe that is Kachow's race done. Kachow has now retired from the race, unfortunately. Bye bye, Kachow. You're getting there, you're getting there. Keep your head up, mate, keep your head up. So Cornet has 11 seconds worth of time penalties. He probably will fight something, but as he always does, he always thinks he's in the right. So he probably will try and fight maybe some of those penalties. But we'll see what happens after the race. But right now, on track, Dummy Lee takes a lot of curb there. And yeah, as he takes a lot of curb, he gets that 3 second time penalty. Rayner picks up a 3 second time penalty as well. Will fighting Dummy Lee hard. He just wants them to make a mistake up ahead so he can gain a couple more positions, because at the minute he is stuck in the DRS trade. He's got Stewart just behind him, Dommy ahead of him, and because Dommy and Holmesy are fighting hard, they're switching, exchanging DRS zones. Will can't take advantage right now. Let's jump on board with Mr. Woot as they come around the final corner. Medwards doesn't have DRS. Mr. Woot does. Red Dog very close behind them as well. Mr. Woot is... what's he going to do? Is he going to go for the overtake? He is. Mr. Woot overtakes Medwards and thieves that point off of Haas. Mr. Woot not doing the team game right now. Delta, are you still here?
I'm still here.
You're still here. I thought you might be talking. You're leaving me on my own here.
It sounds like you're having such a great time. I was actually following that along the battle. Will's now only 2 tenths behind Dommy Lee, and he's going to get him back into the stadium
It
section.
looks like it's going to be 3 wide. It's 3 wide. Dommy's going to get swamped. Will
Stewart
goes
tries to
round
go
the
on
outside. What a move from Will. What an absolute move there from Will.
Will made
Brilliant.
that stick.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a brilliant move there from Will. Round the outside, 3 cars. Dommy Lee just got sandwiched. And yeah, brilliant. Definitely my move of the race so far. There's been quite a few.
Absolutely, it was a good move. Yeah, you could
very
tell he'd
good.
been, waiting and waiting and gaining and gaining.
Yeah, looking to take advantage. Good news is, Dommy's trying to get the inside line there, but Dommy has used all of his ERS up, and Will still had a little bit left, so Will was able to defend that position. Stewart now has 24 seconds worth of time penalties, so any more, he is screwed. I think he's on the verge of disqualification right now, and Will goes wide.
Go up the inside of Will.
Double right-handed apex. Looks like he has.
He gets a better traction out of the corner, and he gets back in front of Will. That means Will will now get the DRS along the back short straight.
That's right on board with Will here. Let's see if he can make this. And Dommy goes.
Will picks up another penalty.
So they're both running on even. Will's trying to go the inside this time. No, thinks better of it. He's going to try and get the long. So what's the ERS situation? Dommy has 16%. Will has 27%. 30 now. So Will's got that little bit extra, and he will have the DRS. So I'm riding on board the cockpit of Will. Stewart. Let's go on board with Stewart actually, because Stewart is going to have the box office seat for this battle.
So Will's going to go around the outside.
Switches round the outside. And is
Stewart
Stewart going
up as well round the outside? Getting late break like Max Verstappen. He gets the inside for the next corner. Can he muscle out Dommy Lee? Dommy just keeps it to stick onto the straight.
And Stewart
DRS again.
fighting his little heart out is Stewart.
And
That's good
Lasser
for
is
Will.
making the most of this as he comes last of the late breakers.
Dommy breaks late.
Dommy's in the lead of this pack. Who's in the lead of this pack?
I have no idea. Neither can I. But that's all good for Will. Will's now got a 1.3 second lead over Dommy.
Stewart picks up another penalty. He's still in this with 27 seconds.
He's still in this. How many more? How many more can he get? He's probably doing it now just to see how many points, how many seconds he can get. He's going to drop outside of the points with this. Stein watching, lol. Dommy's still got that. Yeah, I don't know how he's still in P5 with Lasser, Stewart all over the back of him like a rash.
I love that. So as we start along the pit straight again, Lasser is now on Dommy like a rash. He's got the DRS. He's going to go down the outside, making it stick into turn 1. Lasser makes it nice and clearly past. Oh, Dommy just about slows it down in time.
Very late. Come on, Stewart. Get yourself disqualified. I want to see a disqualification. Come on, mate. Right, so Dommy is now down into P6. Red Dog overtakes Medwards, but Medwards goes way off track. Gets a 3-second time penalty for his sins.
Henry's just picked up another time penalty, so he's on 9 seconds now. But is also 7.2 seconds out in the lead and about to finish the race.
Yeah, Red Dog. Medwards gave that position up to Red Dog. Medwards has 9 seconds worth of penalties. Red Dog is that. Where is Henry? Here he comes through the stadium section. The crowd go wild. The confetti is everywhere. Here he comes. He's going to take the win. I believe he's going to take the win. All the time penalties are going to start coming into action now. Cornet comes around the final corner. And Cornet has P2. Now it's going to be Honesy. I think Honesy is going to get P2 here. Yeah, Honesy jumps up to P2. Cornet drops to P3. Will gets P4. Lasser gets P5. Dommy gets P6. Stewart gets P... something. Rayner crashes around the corner.
Rayner gets a P8 in the pit wall.
P9, Red Dog moves up to P8, and we're going to get the final classification in just a second. So what an absolute banger of a race. Mexico in real life last week was very boring. Today's race was exciting as you could possibly get. Honesy gets the official Cody's driver of the day. But yeah, what an absolute banger. Henry picks up another win in SFR, the babyface assassin. Cornet gets P3. Honesy, after a horrible qualifying and a horrible first half of the race, somehow still finishes on the podium. What is it with that kid? He's mad. Mr. Consistency.
He is. He is. Once he gets going.
But that battle with Domi, Stewart, Will, absolutely one for, and Lasser, one for the ages. So, drive of the day wise, I think I'm going to have to give it to Red Dog. The only driver not to pick up a time penalty. Fantastic drive from him. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
When everyone's picking up time penalties left, right and centre, Red Dog doesn't. So I've got to give it to him for that. Some fantastic drives though, some standout performances, especially from Will, from Honesy, Lasser from P19 on the grid, Woot from P14 on the grid, even Red Dog from P18 to P8. So yeah, I've got to give it to Red Dog for that. Just no penalties and a good solid drive to P8. Gets a couple of good points on McLaren, who haven't had the best second half of the season. Overtake of the race definitely has to go to Will for that 3 wide send into the around the outside into the stadium. Would you agree? Pretty good.
Absolutely, absolutely. He made it stick, even though he not only was making one overtake, but someone else, Stewart, was coming up the inside as well at the same time. You know, so he had to, you know, psychologically that would have been playing on his mind, seeing red arrows absolutely everywhere. So yeah, absolutely.
Massive race. That was a great race. Really enjoyed that. Kept me on the edge of my seat all race. I haven't calmed down yet from the Brazilian in the real life race earlier, and yeah, now that's just, you know, I've had 5 hours of interesting. I can't think of the word. 5 hours
Don't know what you're talking.
I've had 5 hours of enthralling Formula One basically today.
There we go.
It's been good. It's been emotional. Apologies to Delta. Like I said, 2 races I've commentated on this weekend, and both races he has DNF'd and had to join me in the commentary box.
Meh. Both times it was very stupid fault.
Can't even try and get anyone else blamed. But thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching us, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. We head to, I think we're pretty much 1 week behind in real life at the minute. It looks like we are. I think we're going to end up like it as well. We've got Brazil next week. No, it's Jeddah the week after. As long as Jeddah hopefully gets added to the calendar, or the game tomorrow as the rumour is. So we're heading to Brazil next week. Then we head to Jeddah for round 15 and Abu Dhabi for round 16. And that will be season done and dusted. There's probably going to be a few incidents reported. So we'll see what the final race results are. But as you saw, Henry won, Honesy second, and Cornet third. Thank you for joining me, Cornet. Unfortunately, not Cornet, Dave Delta. Unfortunately, had to be because.
Do you not know who I am?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're doing here, if I'm honest.
Thanks.
No, unfortunately, you had to join me because of a DNF. But thank you for joining me, nonetheless. Thank you for your insightful race strategy at the beginning.
Yeah, well,
really helped me out. But yeah, there we go. That'll be it. I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Join us next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Saturday night there will be the NRL race. Nearly dropped my coffee on the floor there. NRL are racing in. They won't be taking a break week. Break weeks are the usual for them. They are racing in Japan next Saturday, and PAFR on Sunday morning UK time are racing. Is a rest week next week. Okay, so PFR aren't racing next week. So don't worry about that. All good. Thank you for joining us. SFR, and that is over.